Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. Watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Parnsrpe O-08 homage to a No Time to Die Seamaster. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing these Addy's Dive 80 2070. I just reviewed this watch. If you haven't seen the review yet, be sure to check it out. And Grego's wearing my North Edge Alps. Grogu said that Lando Calrissian took Ben Solo to the infirmary because when they went diving on Naboo, Ben wanted to test out the water resistance of Grogu's two Dorpelagos, and he drove too deep and got narked. The doctor asked him why he dived so low, and Ben said, because that's part of my name. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this box, which is very similar to a Pagani design box, except for it's gold instead of blue. And here it is. Look at that reflection. This crystal just reflects like crazy. And guess what? It's not sapphire, it's glass. So, not a fan of this crystal, I'll tell you that much. Another Parnsrpe on my channel. Parnsrpe holds this weird place on AliExpress where they are slightly below Pagani Design and Cadison, but slightly above Benyar. This O-08 is definitely going for the No Time to Die look with the government issue symbol and the striped double pass strap. This watch comes in 9 different colorways, all consisting of different bezels, and they are labeled 1 through 9 in the order that I show you on this picture. The pictures are of very poor quality, so it's hard to tell the difference between certain choices, and unfortunately I chose the wrong one, or either that or they sent me the wrong one. I can't tell by the invoice. It appears I was sent color 6, which is the black bezel with white bezel markers and red tip secondhand. I would have preferred color 4 with the Fotina bezel markers, which I think looks a lot better than the white markers. The watch is 41.7 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, but 42.7 if you measure at the case, because the bezel is a little bit smaller than the case, which makes it really hard to get a grip on the bezel. I'll show you later. It's 48.2 millimeters lug to lug, which isn't bad considering this is basically a 43 millimeter watch. But it's 18 millimeters thick if you count the double pass strap, 15.7 without it. Because look at that dome crystal. So this is one chunky monkey. Has a 20 millimeter leg width, and of course, since it's on a double pass, there's no taper. And it weighs 81 grams on the supplied canvas double pass strap. The bezel is ceramic, and it looks nice. I really wish I would have got the one with the Fotina, though. Once again, I don't know if I ordered it wrong or they just sent me the wrong one, because I don't know why I would have got white. I just don't think the white goes well at all with the Fotina markers and hands. It's a 90-click unidirectional, but once again, as I told you, the bezel is smaller than the case, and it's really hard to get a grip, especially because of the scallop design of the Seamaster. And it's a 90-click, and since it's so hard to get a grip, it's really hard to turn. So I don't know if you'll be using the bezel a lot. It'll be easier to get out your phone. And then we have the dial. The dial, I don't know what to tell you about this dial. I think they designed the dial so it could go with either the black or the blue bezels that they have. And I just don't like the color at all. It's just kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I just don't like it. Now the markers I do like. I think they did a good job with the markers. We got the double baton at the 12, singles at the 6 and the 9, and dots everywhere else. They look nice. Plus, I like the hands. The hands are the skeleton Seamaster style hands with the triangle at the minute marker and a dot at the hour hand. And we have a lollipop second hand with the red tip. So happy with the hands. We have the Parnsrpe name and logo printed on top, automatic. And we have the government issue symbol on the bottom. And you only get 50 meters of water resistance. And then we have a date at the 3, and it is not color matched. Then we have a unsigned screw-down crown. When you go to unscrew it, the thread action seems fine. Then when you go to screw it back down, there's no resistance, so that's nice. And then we have the crystal. Look at that dome. It's a huge dome. Now, I think it's double dome though, because I don't see any distortion. But man, it's hard to see through. There's a ton of reflection. And once again, this is glass. It's not sapphire. I could understand all this reflection if it was sapphire, but it's glass. And so it's just reflecting everything. Not happy with the crystal at all. It just seems murky. And then we have the case. The case is nice. It's brushed, polished chamfered edges. The case is good. A lot of this thickness is because of the bezel and the crystal, not because of the case. So I don't blame the case for the thickness. I like the case. I think the case is one of the highlights of this watch. And then we have the case back. And as you can see, it's a display case back, and there's no writing on it, and it's got the shape of an actual Omega. So I don't know if a point edge tool fits on this or not for opening, or if you have to use a ball or something. I don't know. I've never opened one. But there it is. Then underneath the case back, the ad shows a Miyota 8215, but take a look at this. There's no writing on the rotor. So I find it hard to believe that this is an 8215. I have a feeling it's a Chinese equivalent. It is a unidirectional. See, you can make it spin in one direction. So I'm assuming, yeah, it's a knockoff of the 8215. So that's disappointing though, because usually at this price range, you can usually get a Miyota, no problem. And once again, I don't think I'd mind near as much if they didn't advertise a Miyota 8215 in the ad. They have a picture of it. They show the rotor. So this is a 21 joule 3 hertz movement that hand winds. I forgot to check to see if it hacks. I think it does. Let me see. Yeah, it hacks. Has a unidirectional rotor, and I don't know the power reserve. And we'll go ahead and throw it on the time grapher and see how it's doing. Here it is on the time grapher, and I guess for a Chinese knockoff of an 8215, it's not doing too bad. It's running anywhere from -2 to -10 seconds slow. There's a -3 right there. And I have the lift angle set to 49. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I figured if it's a 8215 clone, that's the proper lift angle for an 8215. And it shows the amplitude at 303, so I guess that's a healthy amplitude. Either that or I have the lift angle wrong. But yeah, it's running a little slow, and there's a little bit of beat error, but really not bad considering it's not an actual Miyota 8215. The strap is a double pass nylon, and it looks like the strap you would get if you got the double pass on the real Seamaster. And it's nice enough. It's a fairly thick canvas. Doesn't feel cheap. The hardware though is polished. It would have been nice if it was brushed just to match the case a little bit better. But still not bad. So I like the strap. It would have been nice if there would have been a bracelet option though. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. Like I said, it's chunky. And I have 9 notches left, so you'll be able to wear this no matter how big your wrist is. Of course, that's meant to act as a diver's extension too, because you can wrap it around a wetsuit, no problem. Of course, you would never actually dive with this watch. And here's the watch on a mesh bracelet designed to look like the one that comes on the real Omega. So that's what it looks like if you want to put it on a bracelet. And here it is on some vintage leather. That's not a bad look. Here in the Lume room, not expecting much from this test, but let's give it a go. As we speed up the time, the poorly lumed indices fade immediately. The hands and lume pip are much better, showing a decent green see-through colored glow. The thin strips of the skeleton hands are already about done, but at least the tips are decent. I would consider this lume at least decent despite the awful index lume. What I like about this watch? I like the case. I think they did a good job with the case. It's nicely brushed and finished. And I like the hands and indices. I think they look nice. And even though the index lume is a joke, the hand lume is decent enough, as well as the lollipop second hand. And I do like the ceramic bezel. I just wish I would have got the one with the Fotina. And I think this double pass strap is decent enough. What are my gripes and groans? The watch is too thick. It's 18 millimeters by the time you wear it on a double pass. And the movement isn't a Miyota, even though it shows so on the ad. And this crystal is murky and hard to see through. And I don't like this dial color at all. Do I recommend this watch? No, it's a big chunky mess, and they showed me an 8215 in the ad when it's not. Plus the crystal is hard to see through, and you'll be constantly cleaning it. Plus I don't like this murky dial color. I'd pass on this one. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Parnsrpe O-08, and I'll be back with another review or unboxing. Supposedly that watch I got coming from England will be coming. It's just since it's over $800, they got all kinds of new rules and inspections going through customs now. I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. Here you are. There were 6 of you last time I checked. And I still haven't sold the Members Choice watch. Hopefully maybe this week people will start buying watches again. I don't know. I have 18 watches for sale, so sales have been really slow right now. Bye.